and just finished Australian Outback. For people that know me, that know my Survivor fandom, I should say, uh, this season, maybe only the first season of Lost has had the biggest impact on my actual life. As far as after I watched this season of Survivor, all I wanted to do was go to Australia, which I did 4 or 5 years later. It's where I learned how to play rugby. And, for people that know me, now I am a rugby coach. So knowing all of that, going in to do another rewatch of this season, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to take my nostalgia glasses off because of the impact that the season's had on my life. So first of all, let's get this out of the way. Bryant Gumbel sucks as a reunion host. I think I have about 3 more seasons left of him hosting the reunion, and thank goodness, because he makes everything so uncomfortable. uh you know he he actually seems like the first person to ever bring up, like, don't you think that it's like a disrespect to the game if you win more challenges and you don't win? It's like, and to Colby's credit, and I don't give Colby enough credit ever, but he shuts that shit down almost immediately, which I really appreciated because everyone talked about how Tina was the more strategic person. And I'm so glad that no one brought up at jury that Tina was somehow riding coattails, because she wasn't. She was pretty much in control from the Mitchell vote until the end. Um, some things about the season that I enjoyed was everything. It's so funny watching this season now, knowing what we know about a lot of different people. Because, and I tweeted this out yesterday, growing up, Kucha was my tribe. Kucha was probably my favorite tribe just in the history of the show. And looking back on it through 2022 eyes, Ogakor were the good guys the entire time. Ogakor had, the eventual winner, Tina, who, yes, was very cutthroat as far as gameplay, but like very, early 40s, late 30s mom in terms of the social game. You had America's sweetheart, I guess, in Colby, the American hero in Colby, who is at his least hateable this season, most likable. I actually really like Colby this season. I know my screen went blurry, but we have even Keith takes a lot of shit this season, and everyone thinks he's up to no good. But every time he goes to vote somebody out, the point where you might want to say something, ignorant or something like that, he gives high praise to almost everyone that he votes out. And in fact, this entire cast, for the most part, this is a very wholesome cast. It doesn't seem like anyone's out there being overly malicious. The jury was by far one of the least, if not the least, bitter jury in the history of the show. They just went up there, asked very simple questions. They weren't out there trying to, attack them or have their Sue Hawk moment or anything like that. They just went out there, asked pretty reasonable questions, and hoped that the finalists would answer correctly. I don't know why my screen is blurry. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect. As far as Jeff, this is the first season where Jeff is like Jeff, old Jeff. As far as antagonizing people, talking through the challenges, and because the challenges this season are not, they're not. I could see how production might be very bored watching a lot of these challenges. Let's say it like this. This is the one season I think that I could actually do most of the challenges well if I were to ever play, mainly because half of them were trivia and or memory based challenges, which, for anyone that doesn't know, I am a trivia god, trademark. So I think that this is the beginnings of the Jeff as a character season, for better or worse. Everyone opinion on. Oh well, we're just gonna keep on. I don't know what is going on right now, but start Survivor Africa in a second. I'm not going to keep this one really long because I'm kind of about 2 hours behind schedule at this point. Um, my plan is for right now to live stream all of either Amazon or Pearl Islands, or I might wait until Cook Islands, depending on what my schedule is like. So right now I'm about 2 hours behind the pace that I had set for myself. So I'm gonna have to put in a lot of work tonight in order to catch up. As far as my rating of the season, once again, it's these just my opinions, but I preferred this more than Borneo. I still would give it a 4.25 out of 5. But there's just something about the season that has always resonated with me. The fact that, in a bubble, this cast is amazing, top to bottom. You feel so horrible for Deb at the reunion. Um, I really wanted to skip the reunions. I'm already skipping the recaps, but I feel like the reunions sometimes things juicy happen. So that was very uncomfortable. There are a few moments like when when they're doing the intros during the first episode, it's like Michael from here, and it's like his kids playing in the background. You have Jeff's iconic Jeff Varner's iconic confessional where he talks about choking the shit out of Kemi, which um but overall I'd say 4.25 out of 5. I think that this is it's my favorite of the first 5 seasons, but I think the deeper meaning the deeper meaning it has to me is why it will always be very high up, because it quite honestly made me who I am today, if you can believe it, if I can be cheesy for a second. So yeah, we're moving on to Survivor Africa, another very wholesome winner, not the most wholesome cast, as we're going to find out very early with the whole Clarence thing. And I'm not talking about Clarence being the non-wholesome one in that equation. So I'm looking forward to Africa, and then it's on to Marquesas, and there will be tears, because everyone knows. But I appreciate y'all sticking with this. I'll probably say that at the end of every one of these things. And yeah, we'll see y'all soon on to Survivor Africa.